The Tyrannical Predator is the first major boss you'll encounter in Lies of P Overture, and for me, he was probably the toughest in the entire DLC. That is, until it finally clicked and I understood the one thing that completely turned the tide of the fight, and honestly, made him kind of easy. So let's break down the Tyrannical Predator and his moveset, and I'll give you my simple strategy for defeating him. Now, a couple of things to look out for before I show you my walkthrough of the fight. Dodging is gonna be your best friend. I tried a couple of runs where I would only perfect guard and I just couldn't get the timing down. Once I pivoted from guarding to dodging, this fight became exponentially easier. Now in particular, I would recommend dodging left. This is pretty similar to the Romeo fight. If you dodge slightly forward and to the left, you can pretty much dodge through any of the attacks and completely avoid taking damage. Next, the camera is definitely going to be working against you and can make this fight much more difficult. So to combat that, we're going to want to try to stay in super close and try not to get backed into a corner. If you do find yourself getting backed into a corner, take the time to reset, dodge out of the way, and try to keep the fight in the center. And lastly, stamina is going to be really important because we're going to be running and dodging around a lot. So be sure to equip the amulets that help you increase your stamina and your stamina recovery. Now next up, let's take a look at a couple of his more common moves so you know what to do when they come up. First is this head slam, which I think is probably his most common move. This move is easy enough to see coming, so once he pops up, just be sure to dodge left. But one thing you'll need to watch out for here is the tail swipe. You can see that after he comes down, his tail will do this little wind up in the air, and that's when you know he's about to do a tail whip. He can pretty much finish just about every move with this tail whip, so definitely be sure that you're tracking the tail once he's done with a move, and be prepared to dodge left out of the way if you see his tail go up in the air. Now his next move is one that I call Chomp Chomp Slam, where he does 2 quick bites followed by a head slam. Once again, just dodge left to avoid taking any damage and try to stay close to him through the dodge so you can take advantage of the window afterwards to deal some damage. But again, definitely be sure to watch out for that tail swipe. Now there is a slower variation where it's basically the same move, but the chomps don't happen quite as quickly. Again, just dodge left to avoid taking any damage and stay close to deal some damage afterwards. And lastly, be on the lookout for his running lunge and grab. Now you'll typically know when he's about to do this move because he's going to try to create some space. So be on the lookout for when he backs up and then be prepared to dodge at the very last second right before he tries to grab you. The further you are away from him, the more likely he is to do this move, so by staying close throughout the fight, you can limit the number of times he tries it. Even though this one isn't technically a fury attack, it sort of is, so be on the lookout for it as it can do some serious damage if he catches you. Now let me quick show you my build before the fight so you can see what I'm using. I'm running a technique build and you can see that I'm only at level 77 because I thought it would be a great idea to start the DLC with a brand new playthrough, not accounting for the increased difficulty, which was probably not the smartest move on my part. I'm also using the Trident of the Covenant upgraded all the way to level 5 because this weapon is an absolute boss killer. I'm also playing on Legendary Stalker difficulty, but Legendary Stalker at my level, once again, is not a great idea because to beat this boss, you pretty much need to have a near flawless run. This is an added challenge that I don't really recommend, so if I can do it here, you can definitely do it. Now let me take you through my actual playthrough where I put all the pieces together and defeat the Tyrannical Predator. Okay, now when he jumps out here, I'm gonna try to run in and be a little aggressive and get a good couple of hits in, like right off the bat. Go, 1, 2, 3. Watch out for the head slam move. And then the tail whip when he brings his tail up like that. Make sure you just keep watch for it. Here's the slow variation of Chomp Chomp Slam. I was expecting the tail there. Another head slam. A couple of hits. Again, I'm kind of slow to get some hits in there because I'm watching for the tail. Now, when you stagger him, he can still hit you. He'll hit you with that head slam, so just something to watch out for. There's the tail whip. Get a couple of hits in. And I'm trying to stay in the center there, so I'm not getting caught on any of the walls, because the camera in this boss fight can really suck. Head slam, watch for the tail. Okay, a little bit of a delayed tail swipe there. Couple of hits. Ooh, and with that move, you just have to wait until like the very last second. Chomp, chomp, slam. Watch for the tail. Head slam. Just dodge to the left every single time. Always dodge to the left. Kind of bringing him back out to the center there. Just, again, wait until the very last second to dodge through that because you don't want to get hit with that move. And again, watch for his head when it comes down there because it'll hit you. That's definitely like not the time you want to take damage or get knocked down. Try to use some Fable Arts there. Deal some extra damage. And at this point, I feel like he's just kind of tired. Almost feel bad for him. But not really, because he's killed me like 50 times. Chomp, chomp, slam. Watch for the tail, no tail. Head slam, no tail. Get some hits in, just staying really close to his body. Trying to be pretty aggressive. One more hit should do it. There we go, charged heavy. And we did it. We beat the Tyrannical Predator. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. And if so, leaving a like on this video to let me know is always appreciated. Or if you've got any other tips for beating the Tyrannical Predator, be sure to leave it below in the comments. It might help me or someone else that's watching this later on. And be sure to subscribe because this is the type of content you can expect to see from my channel. Quality gaming tips and tricks that actually help you get better. As always, thanks everyone for watching and I'll see you on the next one.